Hello everyone, on this HCW podcast we will be covering Smackdown, Raw and AEW Grand Slam Night 1. Roll intro.
HCW Reviews.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the HCW podcast. My name is RGX, joined this week by RateWrestle. How you doing, buddy?
Yeah, everything's good. It was a great week of wrestling. I'm actually looking forward to reviewing this. How are you?
Yeah, getting myself back in the swing of things after not watching any wrestling, pretty much other than the cool stuff last week. Getting back into doing 12 hours of wrestling a week. But fully caught up. I've seen everything that's been on, and I'm looking forward to talking about it. So let's kick off with the Smackdown review.
So we'll go straight into SmackDown, as you said. So SmackDown kicked off with Logan Paul. He wants the title. That's a thing that's happening right now. And then obviously he was interrupted by Paul Heyman is now back. So Paul Heyman was just using his usual rundown. Just the Tribal Chiefs are the best, blah, blah, blah. Like, Logan Paul, I've never heard of you, your brother's a dick. Basically, even though he's never heard of him. And then the funny thing was, after all this, Sami Zayn went, Paul, I'll handle this. He Gaiman just goes, just handle it then. And then he leaves, and then Zayn gets absolutely popped by Logan Paul in the face. And then for some reason, this leads to Ricochet coming down, and it leads to a match between Zayn and Ricochet. Yep. So the Zane Ricochet match I really enjoyed. Like, I rated 3.5 stars, but like, Zane's doing very well and Ricochet is getting pushed again, which is nice. He's not just getting beaten randomly and then winning Intercontinental Championship. There was a few distractions and it ended up with Jey Uso costing Zane the match basically on accident, because he was trying to do it, but is he on accident? We don't know. And then Ricochet ended up picking up the win. And then out of nowhere, here comes Madcap Moss. Because, he's supposed to be having a match later on against Soa Sikoa. And I thought he was going to kick straight into it, but it didn't.
I know. It was kind of weird the way they did it.
Yeah, because I saw the card before afterwards, and I thought, they must be going straight into the match, but obviously they didn't with it. We had a bit of a carrying backstage segment, which he was just discussing McIntyre and how he choked him out, and they were just laughing in general creepiness of the carrying cross character, which I'm enjoying again. I'm going to be honest, they've already added more than they did with his Leatherface gimmick, which was absolute ass. Up next, which I was the most pleased about, was we had the Triple M segment. That got absolutely stopped by good old Braun. Loved it.
I bet this was your favourite M&M segment of all time.
I can imagine the tears on DP's face. That's Braun coming down.
Do you want to talk about the outfits that we're wearing?
God grief. Why is this happening?
It's like anime schoolboy outfits. It was a bit creepy, if I'm honest.
A bit. It's not the greatest of things. So then this led to Braun Smash, which led to the Alpha Academy coming down, and then Otis actually picked up Braun and was battering him, and he slammed him. Otis walked out the ring like he'd won the world, and then Braun just stood up like...
Yeah, but Braun didn't rush after him to get his own pack either. So...
No, it was just kind of like a stare down, yeah.
So, his first feud... The big monster that's come back is Otis.
Yeah, I'm all for it. Otis is they're building everyone they need to build. Like,
I know, but
Otis is a beast. Like, it's just he wasn't treated like a beast until now. So at least he's looking decent. Damage Control, they're everywhere right now. They've got all the power, but they're being called bullies. That was basically the general gist. I can't remember who came in to call them bullies. It was Raquel, wasn't it? She came down to call them bullies, weren't it? Because that led to Raquel versus Bayley. This was average. It was better than some of the women's matches that have recently been happening on SmackDown, but it was quite average. WWE was very distraction heavy this week, and to be fair, AEW was the same.
Pretty much every match had some form of distraction across all companies. Even NXT was bad.
This was like distractions galore. Bayley ended up winning the match, if I believe, with the rose plants. And then they obviously started canning Raquel, and then out of nowhere, here comes face Shotzi Blackheart again. Don't know if they're called a Shotzi Blackheart.
No,
I don't know if it's called a Shotzi still.
Still just Shotzi. SRS said that on the internal listing, she's still just Shotzi.
Which is not bad, to be fair. It's not. Matt Riddle needs his name. Theory needs his name, but Shotzi's fine because it's still cool sounding. But yeah, she's turned face now, which is probably better for what they need at the moment because there is a lot of heel women in WWE. Especially that roster on SmackDown, because if you have Damage Controller clasters everywhere at the moment, they're all heels. Natalia's a heel. Tamina's just there. Sonya Deville's a heel. Well, everyone's a heel on that brand, basically, except Liv. Randa's a heel. Shayna's a heel. I don't know who's a face on that brand. Leah. There you go.
I believe as well, and feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, that is the first time Raquel's been pinned on the main roster. In fact, I think she
can't correct you.
I think she was only ever pinned like twice in NXT as well, at least since the rebrand where she wasn't the cowgirl anymore.
I can't think of a time she's ever been pinned, off the top of my head, which is weird. Obviously, she lost the title in NXT, so she had to have been pinned at some point.
I'm sure that was a multi-man.
Was it? Yeah, so I don't even remember a time she's been pinned, but yeah, I don't remember it ever on the main roster, so Bayley's doing Bayley.
But they don't make any deal of it, which I find weird.
Yeah. No, I just clicked into my mind when you said that. I wouldn't even have thought about it. But moving on from that, we had Ronda and Liv backstage. It was Ronda was backstage about to have an interview, and then Liv walked up and goes, "Can I have a moment?" And then Liv basically challenges Ronda to an Extreme Rules match, which is the most stupid decision I've ever heard in my life. Oh yeah, let's fight this MMA fighter in Extreme Rules.
The logic was terrible, but the delivery was excellent.
Yeah.
Like, it was
not me going, yeah.
It was really well delivered by Liv, but the logic of like taking the most dangerous woman in the roster that you barely beat in a standard rules match, right?
Yeah, it's like me going to Tyson Fury and challenging him to a boxing match and go, "We'll be fine." It's just not a smart there, but I don't know. So I think something's going to have to happen. Someone's going to have to cheat. Liv is going to have to cheat.
That's the problem when you have gimmick pay-per-views instead of...
Yeah.
But...
Drew had just walked into the announce booth, stood on a table, shouted, "Time is running out," for Karrion Kross. That was pretty much the segment. But it was short and sweet, and it was fine. Yeah. Solar backstage with the Usos, and he only wants Zane to come out with him, which Zane loved. Like in the entrance, you saw him behind going, which was pretty cool. Zola versus Madcap for the North American title, which probably should have never happened anyway. Jim Boy, yeah.
So obviously on NXT, check out the B show if you haven't already. But Shawn Michaels basically says that the original title match where Solo won it was unsanctioned, so he should never have been champion. So who the hell signed off in a title match for SmackDown if that's the case?
Absolutely butchered the way they did this, but fair enough. Solar looked great, that's all that matters. I rated 2 3/4. It was a decent but clunky match. Zane was the MVP of it. He ended up costing Madcap the loss, because he kind of rolled through the ring, ran out the ring, and then Solo catched Madcap. But yeah, Zane's the best. This was followed by the main event, which was the Brutes versus Hit Row versus New Day versus Imperium. I rated this. This was a match of the night, definitely. I rated it 3 3/4 stars. It was just action-packed chaos. But everyone looked great. Hit Row's getting a good run as well, which is good. The Street Profits weren't in it, so that's good because I've seen too much of them. But yeah, all tag teams. The Viking Warriors are dead. I don't know what's happened to that. But yeah, good match.
Yeah, very good match. A lot of good high spots. Any multi-man match in the main roster these days has to have dives into several people.
Yeah, it's the same with every company though, isn't it? Yeah. It's just literally the same with AEW. Obviously is a lot because they're a bit flippy anyway, but then any multi-man, if there's anyone that can do a flip, there's got to be dives everywhere. But yeah, It's fine. I just don't like it when people are all bunched up together, staring at people. Then it's kind of a bit. If it works, I can't think. If it happens with it happening, as in it doesn't look like they're just standing there, it's fine. It's just when people are just standing there watching at the sky as someone jumps down, it's like it's a bit odd. But yeah, overall, very, very good match.
Yeah, and a good choice of winner as well. Though to be honest, I would have been okay with any one of them winning it.
Yeah, I think the New Day, I'm still kind of give it a few months until I want to see them in a tag team title match because they had it for so long and they've always had tag team titles. But Brute's Imperium I would have loved because I'm glad they're back together. And the Hit Row would have been fine, but I think it would have been too soon.
Yeah, the only thing was that obviously the title match is happening in SmackDown this week, so it wasn't to challenge them at Extreme Rules. No. So I wouldn't hold breath on whoever's challenging them getting the titles on Friday, but we'll see.
Yeah, anything's possible at the moment with the Triple H era. But yeah, that was the end of SmackDown. Decent matches all around and decent show.
Yeah, that was a great review. So let's kick right into Monday Night Raw.
Yep, so Monday Night Raw, annoyingly my notepad, the page just fell out, so I'm going to have to kind of work it as I go along. So this started off with the match of the night straight away. I loved Rollins versus Lashley. I rated 3.5 stars, so it wasn't as good as the main and SmackDown, but it was still very good. The finish was very good. I really enjoyed the finish of it. And it just highlighted both guys in overall.
Yeah, particularly I loved the I don't know if you can call it a reversal of the stomp, where Lashley was just like an absolute brick wall and not moving. Like physically couldn't step in his head. So that was a really cool way. I don't think anyone's done that before where they've just posted up.
Yeah, because it makes sense. He's a beast of a man, so he probably could take someone, unless you're doing it continuously, you probably could take a actual thing from that. But yeah, decent, well, not that, a very good match to start off Raw. I thought it was going to be the main event, so out of the blue, it was the first match. I was like, okay. And then I've written here, which I don't know why, I've written Ref Riddle. I don't know why I've written that.
It's because Riddle was out for distraction, but he was quite clearly had his hands on Seth at various points.
Yeah.
But there was no DQ.
I can't even remember that. For some reason in my mind, I thought this was... I keep thinking this was a steel cage match. I've had it in my head that this was going to be a steel cage match, and even in my rasting memory, it wasn't a steel cage match. I need to get away from that.
There will be a fight pit match happening at Extreme Rules.
So yeah, that makes more sense. Yeah, Ref Riddle. Well, now it makes more sense to me. Damage control everywhere. There was saying it's over the top. That they're going to win everything, basically. Blah blah blah. They were quite over the top with what they were doing. Bliss and friends came down. Bailey just basically is calling Bliss a fraud now, which is fun. Which, to be fair, she needs to get back to like a bit of a route because she's in between at the moment.
So obviously you'll have seen the speculation with all the White Rabbit stuff that's going on. There was a reference to that song by Jefferson Airplane.
Okay.
Alexa says to Bailey, "You stand here like you're 10 feet tall," which is like a line for the song as well.
Yeah, okay.
And not very many people picked up on that. It was actually like just me scrolling through Twitter, I saw someone had capped it, I'm like, oh, like, good catch.
I can see him coming back at Extreme Rules. It's like where he was built, wasn't it? Like the Extreme Rules. It's perfect for him to come back.
Well, there's something happening on SmackDown tomorrow or tonight as you watch this, because it's got the 9:23 in the QR video from Raw. So
yowie wowie. I'm happy. It's been long enough. He needs to be back now in my eyes, and we're under Triple H. He'll probably flourish. Triple H is my god. Let's move on. So Theory versus Owens, always going to be a good match. I rated 3.25 stars. Theory keeps losing though. Theory needs to stop losing. Obviously, this one at least was kind of saved because Johnny Gargano kind of interrupted and distracted. But yeah, Theory is losing and will lose and lose. I think Triple H is basically saying, screw you, Vince.
No, it's the Money in the Bank holder curse.
Yeah.
He'll be doing it because he's got the Money in the Bank. It's Vince's favourite trope, have him lose Money in the Bank holder lose all the time, so you don't see it coming and when they cash in.
Yeah.
But all you do is just create an uncredible champion right off the bat.
Yeah, because it's why is it suddenly winning now? He's the champion. Yeah, it's kind of but yeah, very good match. I really enjoyed it. Up next was Riddle. He's on the hunt in general, like especially for that, and he's going to be helping Mysterio fight the Judgment Day. Just randomly getting involved in that, but fair enough. Brawling Brutes are out next, and they were just talking absolute trash about them going to be the champions, etc., and that lot. And then here comes the Street Profits, saying that you didn't defeat us, and it's like, I don't want to see you. That's why. Look, I don't mind the Street Profits. They've been around the title too long. Montez Ford needs a singles run. I don't mind Angelo Dawkins now fighting separately. They just need. They can have an inwards fight with each other, and it'll be a good match. I just don't want them as a tag team anymore.
One of them turning on the other, they could shake hands,
Yeah.
have a match to see who's the better man, and then go their separate ways.
Exactly.
Not every tag team needs to implode.
Yeah, and then the match they had with the Brawling Brutes was decent enough. I rated 2 3/4. It was all right. Like, it was just the same old from them. The Brutes were just they're looking dominant. That's all it is.
I meant to say with the Theory match, obviously it does that jumping blockbuster. To me, that always looks like you're suplexing yourself.
So yeah, like in essence, if you think about it that way, yeah. But luckily, you kind of have to go that he's whiplash in the neck, so it's kind of more. Yeah, but some moves are like that anyway, aren't they?
Yeah. I was just thinking because I know Tez likes to do the blockbuster for the top.
Yeah, Montez. Yeah. Oh yeah, that'll be even more impact. Yeah. Followed by Ray. Had a promo which was basically saying Dom's ignoring him, but he's ready to bring the pain on the Judgment Day. That was generally the gist of that promo. Is that the end of this? Yep, I can go back to a normal notepad again. Let me just go over here because that page has disappeared. So that was Grand Slam over there. So here we go. Then Johnny Wrestling was backstage. He was with the Alpha Academy, but he's Johnny's juice. Then Alpha Academy was saying they were going to beat him, and then KO comes in and goes, "Have you got a problem?" And it's basically setting up a 2-on-2 match in Canada, but it's not going to be in Canada. But you've already said it's going to be in Canada.
It's basically Kevin saying, "Oh, we're going to get to fight again in my hometown. I get to beat my home country." He's
like, "No, Minneapolis. No, we've said it now."
And to be fair he did actually say, you know what, I did say next week. Like, he conceded the point.
Yeah. But yeah, just everything about this I loved. Johnny Gargano being back, Kevin Owens is at his best now for Academy looking great. It's all funny.
Yeah.
And he shoots enough that I like it now. That's so. Judgment Day were up next, and they became the Dominic Appreciation Society. Literally, like, I've never seen them try to build someone up so much and no one give a shit. They booed, like, Dominic, I don't know if they added booze in, but he was getting booed to hell.
Genuine. So basically, that reaction, if you remember the Kevin Owens and Elias making the San Antonio Spurs joke, like, it was like that.
Yeah, but he got absolutely... I've never heard a boo like it. Was like proper like bad heat, and it's good for him. But I don't think he can handle it at the same time. It was really awkward.
The irony is, I think the people in attendance were either huge Rey Mysterio fans and were a casual audience, or they were trying to do it to put him off. But all they did was make it look like he's got even more heat. Yeah, like he's a god of heels. Yeah, which fair enough. Good for Dom. This was followed by Mysterio Bros versus Judgment Day. Great match. I rated 3 1/4 stars. Very good. Rollins was getting involved as usual because we needed a good distraction, and good old Judgment Day picked up the win. They're looking great. Yeah, there was a spot in the match with Riddle and Ray doing the 420 leg drop, which was basically frame for frame what Ray did with RVD when their tag match back in the day.
And what had linked them?
It's something to do with numbers. That's all I
Yeah,
remember.
numbers and grass. Leaves. They like grass. I'm on about artificial, by the way. Turf. Anyway, this was started by outside. So obviously the Judgment, they picked up the win. Then it went out back, and Riddle and Rollins were having a brawl. And Rollins was going, "You can have your rematch anytime, any place." And then Riddle goes, "Fight pit." And then Rollins is like, "Oh no."
I done goofed.
Oh no. In Minneapolis, no. But yeah, so that was followed by Miz TV. Miz was calling out Loomis. Where's Loomis? A knife comes through the floor. He's like a full-on butcher, like a full-on knife.
And it's so slow as well. I even went back and watched the YouTube to see if they edit it down at all, and they don't. It's still like a good minute of slowly cutting through the carpet.
It was like a bad horror, and Miz is just trying to lapse it up and stuff like that. The man's got a knife, and then Loomis pops his head out like this. Grabs the Miz.
Diglett.
Yeah, Miz grabs the Miz. Ciampa grabs the Miz away. He grabs Ciampa. Ciampa whacks him, and then he was like a whack-a-mole. He went down, and then Miz was like that, and then he popped back up, and they went, "No." Love it. Absolutely love everything about Loomis right now.
And so he's popping up like a Diglett.
Yeah. It's great. This was followed by Judgment Day backstage. They were walking. They're going to have a nice celebration. Dom looks like he doesn't know what's going on. Riddle, and then they had a bit with Riddle talking about that crash, and then Priest, Balor. I don't know what Riddle here. Balor saw Styles. Oh no, that's it. Riddle's going to fight Priest next week. That's why I've written that. And then Balor saw Styles, and then they basically talked about that he's never let Styles down. Which Styles said, yeah, fair enough, but he's not going to join the Judgment. Yeah, so it's just kind of like. But Balor versus Styles will be a great match.
Yeah, I did love the tease. Like, oh, so you're looking for a fight before, and they stare down for a good while. You think they're about to come to blows, and then Finn's like, "No, we're good," and like hugs them.
Yeah, and then main event randomly, but it was this was better than I expected. I'm going to be honest. I expected this to be a dodgy match, but I rated 3 stars. Like, I actually enjoyed it. Probably one of my favourite Bliss matches recently, singles wise. Surprisingly, there was a distraction, but then Bayley picked up the win, if I remember, and then there was complete beatdowns everywhere. And they basically, at the end of it, Bayley said she's going to, because Bianca came down, beat down Bianca, and then she's going to fight Bianca at Extreme Rules and probably win the title.
Yep, I believe so, because it'll be coming up for the nearly at the year point for it. That.
Yeah,
because they even mentioned it's 300 and some odd days. So
yeah, and they need it. Bayley's on an upward spiral, and it worked really well with her character. And then also, I'm going to pick that, and I'm going to win the FPL title. And then I'm walking out, baby. You know. Straight to the JRPL. So good. That's the end of Raw.
Yeah, it was a good draw. It was particular with damage control at the end. Like, they were literally doing damage control of, please don't remember that they weren't the tournament winners.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they made pretty much zero mention, other than calling them the new tag team champions. They made zero mention of the first loss, which is good. Forget that ever happened.
Yeah, because it was just odd anyway. And then Bayley's been pushed to the moon, and she deserves it because Bayley's great.
Indeed. So let's move on to Dynamite, the special edition Grand Slam from Arthur Ashe. Yep.
So Dynamite. Grand Slam. So Jericho and versus Claudio started this match, which I predicted was going to be the case because you're going to have to bookend the world title matches.
Yeah.
I enjoyed this match. I rated 3.25 stars. It was good until the ending. Not because Jericho won the title, which I think is a great thing, even though it's kind of stopped Claudio and his cracks. I think they need Jericho to boost ROH a bit as a dirty heel. And then I think Dottie is probably going to beat him for the title. I feel like they're building towards something like that.
I can see a unification match happening.
Yeah, but I was fine with it. The only thing I didn't like was it became really clunky at the end. Like, they did certain things. What Cesaro was supposed to hit Audrey Edwards, but he was too far away, and he stood there for a second and went, "Ah, was that her?" And then it was like, "What's happened?" And Jericho, picked up the win. I read it 3 1/4. It would have been a lot better, but the end kind of let it down for me.
I was quite sour at the result. I'm not going to lie, but we'll see where the story shakes out from it. Just hope it doesn't cut the legs out under him too much.
It depends what they're doing with ROH. Like, I don't know that it's just there at the moment. It's not ROH until they have ROH as a show. Yeah, at the moment it's ROH on AEW. Then we were followed straight away with a straight match. There wasn't that many segments straight away. It was the Acclaimed versus Swerve in Our Glory. Once again, I rated this 3 1/4. It was decent opening. The middle was clunky as hell. Like stuff started going a bit weird, but the finish, I really enjoyed the finish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't as good as their
no, definitely
match,
not. Yeah.
But it was on track to be until Bowens came off the top with a flying nothing.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there.
His knee out of shot of the camera.
That's what, and then it started going weird for a bit, and then the ending was fine. But it was also, like the camera shot didn't help whatever they were trying to purvey. But yeah, the ending I liked. I liked Daddy Ass doing the famous and rolling him in so he can't do it. Yeah, it was very good. Obviously, Swerve versus Lee is probably going to happen at some point due to the miscommunication.
Swerve's
but very good. And this is probably the first first AEW talent that's won a title block and the block built from the strong up. So that's good. They're doing something. FTR backstage. They've been number 1 contenders for the last 7 decades, but they might have a match eventually. And then the Gun Club come over and say a lot of random crap, and I didn't care.
Yeah. Are they FT? Are you ever going to stop complaining about being number 1 contender?
We're more handsome, we're a better team, and it's like, oh, you know! But yeah, fair enough.
I suppose Phil Gear's still a long way away for the triple belt champions.
Yeah, and then we had a interview with Tony Schiavone and Wheeler, which didn't even really start, and then MJF strolled out like the god he is, and so the Devil's back. He was taking the mick out of Daniel Bryan, saying if you want advice on how to concuss yourself and become a flipping mind melt, or if you want advice from John Moxley, actually he's insane, forget about that, he can't understand what he's doing. So he was just talking absolute crap, and then out of nowhere Wheeler pushes him, he nuts flipping Wheeler you absolutely obliterates him with a nut, and then pushes Tony Schiavone. He goes down in stages like whee! It's like a wacky inflatable the wacky inflatable tube man if the air went out of him.
Yeah, right. The line that set Wheeler off was saying if you want advice from Regal on how to pop pills.
Pop pills, yeah, which is dark in itself.
Yeah, but Regal would have signed off on that.
Yeah, of course. Regal's been going on about it on his podcast for like every fucking week. He's podcast about it, so he's fine to mention it. And then Tony went down in stages. They started brawling. Morrissey came out, who's going to be the Wardlow role with MJF clearly now.
I was going to say the W stands for Wardlow.
Yeah. Wardlow, Morrissey, and then yeah, it was just them getting over and leaving. This was followed by the most random and I don't care segment I've ever seen in my life. So the baddies were Jade. It's not because of that.
No Stokely.
So cut the crap, Tony. Diamante comes over because she hasn't beat Diamante yet, so she needs to beat someone. They need to get the title off Jade now.
They've not put her on Dark Elevation because that's the
Jade,
Diamante level. Jade
needs the title gone now. It's so dull, and she's fighting no one.
It's a prop at that stage, so the title means absolutely nothing.
And do you know what's ruined? We've got a thumbnail, and like you obviously there was a return, and I said to you, I don't know who the return is yet. I thought it was this flipping Trinity woman, and I don't even know who this is. This Trina. Who is this woman?
She's a rapper.
Yeah, I was like, who's this woman? And I went, this can't be the return. Who's this?
Obviously, we never mentioned it, but there were also like local rappers that came out with Swerve and
I didn't care enough to mention it. Yeah, but Trina's there. She's basically our Lady LaSure, I'm assuming. But yeah, so Trina, Cassidy versus Pac, good match. there was a bit more comedy than I wanted in it because it's Cassidy. Like the roles were getting a bit odd and stuff like that.
What I will say with Cassidy is a lot of the comedy he was doing was intentionally just to annoy.
Mind games, yeah.
Aye, it wasn't his usual. Oh, I'm just going to put my hands in my pockets and roll around. A lot of it was like threatening to do it to get him to snap because that's how he got the win over him last time they fought.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And like what I really enjoyed, this was probably the best finish of an AEW match I've enjoyed in ages because it was like the ref clearly couldn't see what Pat was doing, which is good. It isn't like a distraction. He had a hammer underneath his because he'd rolled by the announce table. Had the hammer. Commentators are going, "Why has he grabbed the hammer?" Like everyone's grabbed the hammer, and then he's just slotted Orange Cassidy without any blatantness. Like you wouldn't be able to tell unless you knew he had a hammer. And he rolled him in, picked up the win, and then Bryce Remsburg's like he was going, "What you want about a hammer?" Because he could hear everyone else going, "What's going on?" But good finish. I really enjoyed it.
But the ring bell still went.
Mm-hmm.
Did they have a spare hammer?
Yeah.
that was my only issue with the match was the fact the ring bell still went. There wasn't even a delay.
He might have had a spare hammer. You don't know this. Hammer. He's a timekeeper. You probably should have one.
My favourite bit of it was Pac's sell of the DDT. It was like his soul left his body. Just
proper RVD style. Yeah. Do you remember when RVD was planted and he'd be like there for ages like a javelin and then he'd pull down? I didn't like that he took two of them though because the DDT's it needs to have a bit more respect on the DDT. Like
it's not had respect for 20 years.
It makes me sad. Like the DDT of Jake Roberts, the way it was done, incredible. But yeah, good match. This was followed by Dr. Britt Baker versus Storm versus Athena versus Deeb. I rated 2 3/4. It was just a typical 4-way match. It wasn't great.
I would have gone a little bit higher on that. I particularly thought Athena was really good in this match.
Yeah, they kind of pushed her a lot. Like she'd had some high spots where she was carrying people around at 2 at the time. Britt Baker got busted, and I don't even know how. I don't know where that happened.
I think it was just a straight shot to the nose.
But she's always bleeding, but fair enough. But she's not Moxie bleeding. She's legit actually busted open all the time. And then this ended with Storm picking up the win with a roll-up, which was fair enough. It's just not a typical finish, which is good. Hater comes down after they start beating down everyone. Deeb's helping because she just hates Athena. Hater comes down. Are they going to fight? Nope. Hater's back in line and takes out Storm.
Which I'm a little sad about.
Yeah, and then out of nowhere, music plays, and it's just like, why is Falling in Reverse playing? And I realised in my head, hold on, I know who's going out with the lead singer of Falling in Reverse, and then Saraya, and then here comes Paige. Saraya Knight, if you don't know her actual name.
So obviously, if you're watching
this season,
if you're watching this, you'll have seen the thumbnail. I did want to use the Paige here, like meme, but I figured I'd at least keep some of the mystery.
But it was, like the pop was insane. She didn't do anything, but she's definitely going to wrestle, isn't she? She's got to wrestle. Yeah, like the way she was going, it was her house. She was flexing the title, basically. Everyone was stunned, and then at the end, she kind of hugs Athena and Toni Storm. But yeah, very good.
But just keep her the hell away from Tay Mello after the bump that Ruby Riott took a couple of weeks ago.
100%, yeah. Like she needs to be in with people that are like Serena Deeb would be a good opponent for her straight away, like someone that's not going to kill her. Yeah. You don't want to face someone like Nyla Rose, who's a bigger person where it could go wrong. Like Nyla Rose is fine wrestling, but she's powerhouse, isn't she?
Yeah, and her profile page on the roster has a win-loss record on it, so she is there to wrestle by the look of it.
And I'm excited for it. You were not in the FPL chat, but they weren't excited for it, and I'm really annoyed at it.
You want to know something that'll blow your mind?
Yeah.
Saraya / Paige is younger than Britt Baker, and she's the veteran returning after, a 4-year absence.
Yeah, how old is she now? Is she just under 30
like
still?
26, 27?
Yeah. Yeah, she's got to be young, hasn't she? Because she was like 20... Oh, I'm going to write Paige in here, hold on. Saraya Jade Bevis is 1992, it's 20, it's 30, exactly 30 now, yeah.
Oh, she's 30 now, but...
Yeah, but still young as balls. So she could still go for a good 10 years if nothing goes wrong. This was followed by a Darby Allin vignette, which was hilarious. He's just carrying a body around in taxis and trains.
So I saw a really funny bit on Twitter. Someone says someone needs to stop Darby Allin submitting his A-level media studies projects for live TV.
I loved it, I'm going to be honest. It was just funny. He walked in a taxi, wagged the boy, and he went, "Let's go."
I'm going to a funeral. Like, bring your own body.
Brilliant. And then this was followed by the main event, which was Mox versus Danielson. I rated this 4.25 stars. I really enjoyed it.
Very
wasn't a fan of the winner, I'm going to be honest. I think Moxie's won the title, then lost the title. And I feel like Danielson should have put it on him. And I don't like that Danielson passed out. Just beat him if you're going to beat him.
Story-wise, the pass out does kind of make sense because of all the concussion issues and brain injury stuff. So he might be more susceptible to loss causing going to sleep quicker. But it's just I like they're using. I've seen too many it's because of the Austin Hart thing. They passed out. You didn't see it much, but recently you've seen a lot of pass outs, and I don't like it as much. It only can unless if I hadn't seen it previously. A lot of the times, this probably wouldn't have affected me that much. But Daniel's passed out twice. That was a choke. So if it was like a sharpshooter or an armbar or a bell lock or something like that, fair enough. But a choke, you either tap, you get out, or you sleep. So
yeah. I think I'm just bitter that Danielson didn't win, I'm going to be honest. I feel like it's not that. It's not because I wanted Daniels to do it. I just think it's because Motley has had the title now, and now he's had it 3 times, and the second one was basically shouldn't have happened because of the whole awkwardness.
He was about to take time off.
Yeah, Renee's pissed. That's pretty much it. But yeah, the end of Dynamite, Mox. And MJF was in the crowd, and then they kept showing MJF too much in that match, by the way, just to throw it out there. But it was very good, 4.25 stars, I rate it.
Yeah, as we've been saying throughout, this was a very good week for wrestling. I know I'd been down on AEW for a while, but the last 2 episodes have been really good. And the common factor is no Bucks, no Kenny, no Punk.
And no Brandon Cutler. That's the main.
For them supposedly being your biggest draws, they're doing their biggest numbers.
I said the last 2 weeks. I said last week was very good without them as well. It's because it's just good wrestling. And I like Bucks matches, but they're very much Bucks matches. Whereas these matches, you don't know what's happening. Like Acclaim versus 12 in the Glory, you didn't know it was going to be decent and stuff like that. Yeah, it's been good. Tony's took in charge.
Rampage, on the other hand, still looks like it's going to be typical Rampage.
I've seen spoilers. I won't speak about it on the podcast, but yeah, it looks typical.
Obviously, it's supposed to be a 2-hour Rampage, with it being branded as night 2 of the Arthur Ashe. But
yeah,
to me, looking at that card, it still screams B-show. And having seen spoilers, apart from something that a certain small minority of the fan base will love, it'll lose a lot of casual audience, I think.
I'll love it though, that's all that matters. That's my hint.
But yeah, obviously good wrestling this week. Next week hopefully has the same level.
And I won't be here.
Yeah, it's your turn for the week off. It'll be me and Frozzy next week. But of course, we've got your Sporkle Saturday coming up on Saturday.
Which I'll be filming tomorrow. I don't even know what I'm doing yet.
DP went to yet another indie wrestling show, so DP has yet another live review coming out on Sunday, which I believe was Progress. Was it 140 or 141?
141, and I'm on that as well. I'm everywhere.
All rate, all the time.
Yeah, and then the straight afterwards, we've got the Luke Douglas interview, which I can announce now because it's going to be out Monday.
Nice. So look forward to that one. That's on my calendar. I'm definitely going to be dropping everything to watch that one, especially with how awesome our last one was with Cage Butler.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this is the point of the show where I ask you to do all the usual stuff. So, follow our socials down in the description below. Like, comment, subscribe, join the Discord. We discuss wrestling, gaming, football, general life. Come join us, come chat. But thanks you all for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye everyone.
Bog Horden.